Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Questionable Perspective Podcast, Season 2, Episode 2. I am your host, Chris, or FGC Chris, here with my co host, Mr. phdjeshua. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, sir. How about you?
Doing pretty good, having a really good day. Got to see Deadpool pretty much laughed all the way from beginning to end.
Can't wait to
Definitely
see
will
it.
be definitely is a 9 out of 10.
That's what I'm hearing. The box
You're
office is
gonna
blown up.
you're gonna love all the cameos.
I just hope this isn't Cameo the movie.
Well, they play a part in it. They play a good, nice little role at the end. It kind of supposed to be like it's a send off to those characters.
Good. That's 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 what some of them deserve. I mean, what's his name playing as Wolverine for like the past 30 years? It feels like you're gonna be playing Wolverine till you're 90. I know that was one of the jokes in the film. I've yet to see it, but I will watch it. Probably gonna be this week.
And you will get to see another '90s X-Men.
Yeah, I heard it was Cable, except they went and it was supposed to be the guy that was supposed to play in the Gambit movie, not Cable. I said the Gambit. And he was supposed to play in the Gambit movie, but he really goes down. He really pushes through with the Cajun accent.
Yeah, you ain't gonna be able to understand a lot of stuff he's saying.
Hold on now, I speak gibberish. I can understand.
Right now, they took it to the extreme in this one for no reason.
Oh, this is gonna be the Princess and the Frog kind of Cajun, ain't it? Oh dear, Louisiana Cajun.
Yeah, Louisiana Bayou Cajun.
Remilabo. It's like, what? What did he say? Someone
And it's
translate.
cool because they literally have like the '90s costume with the head sock and the silver boots and everything.
He looked a little too like overly buffed a bit. I think that just may have been an issue with the costume, but
Yeah, it's like the what's that? The little like the Batman mold they use.
you know, good old Remy.
But he plays them pretty. Outside that, like the throwing cards and the staff work, he actually does a pretty good job with them.
That's good. I will look forward to it. But speaking of box office hits, we have a box office miss with Borderlands, which I don't think is anybody's surprise.
Nope.
But oh man, that movie domestically, I think it was 8.8 million.
Because outside of gamers,
Well,
who
even
really knows
even
anything? Like who
well,
really knows anything about Borderlands?
this is true. But to be fair, some video game movies have been done well. Some like
Yeah,
Street Fighter, The Assassin's Fist. Oh, what was another one? Trying to remember.
that was more like an indie thing.
Yeah, but still, I mean, it still made money, surprisingly
Yeah.
enough. And whether you and I like it or not, the original Street Fighter movie from 1994 did make money. But there was the Super Mario Brothers movie that did really well.
Well, that's because no matter that's the one character that you could look him and Sonic. They're kind of like the characters from the '90s that pretty much, if you were a kid growing up in the '90s, which you're probably around our age now, of course you know who Sonic and Mario is. They're kind of synonymous with video games.
Listen, you remember the first Mario movie, so do I.
Well, when you
Those-
really look at the Mario movie and that movie, it's pretty much the same plot story more.
Hold on now, no, 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 no. There's a big difference from the 1994 Mario Brothers movie to the one that did now. Hold on, hold on. There's a
Like
big
that,
difference.
like trust me, go back and rewatch it and then watch Mario and then start to see kind of the story beats.
I'm sorry.
I ain't say they're perfectly aligned, but there are some similarities between the two.
I'm sorry, one exactly looks like what Mario is supposed to look like. The other one looks like it was a terrible ripoff of the Mario show from the 80s. And that was a lot better than that movie.
I think that what they was going for with that movie though.
They
But
did a
with
terrible job.
but with Borderlands, like Borderlands was when did it come out? Like
2008, 2007, the first one.
yeah, I'm like the popularity of Borderlands is kind of wane. Like when they should have did a Borderlands movie, they didn't, and now they kind of wait until it's in its twilights years.
It's it's one of those series that's like really big in the slapstick comedy era of stuff, and you just were able you laughed at it. We all laughed at it. We thought it was funny back at the time. Nowadays, though, I mean, we've gotten older, but it's just the way they presented it. The only two characters they seem to have gotten right, Tiny Tina to a point, and what's her name? She had so many husbands. Why can't I remember her name? She was like the one that everybody like fell in love with. God, what is her name?
Uh, I forgot her name too from Halloween.
No, 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 no. She's the barkeep dealer. What's her name? I should remember this. I played the hell out of Borderlands one and two.
Mm,
I should
yeah.
remember her name. Mad
Well, I was just
Moxie.
saying.
Mad Moxie.
Okay. Yeah, but like, I don't think I don't know. To me, Borderlands is kind of a hard movie to. I think people who don't know anything about it probably will enjoy it more than people who played the game.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like it's not hard to like translate a game to a movie. Like I mean, look at Sonic 1 and 2.
Well,
They did well with it.
well, I wouldn't say that because 90, probably say 85, 90% of a game is basically you playing the game with a few cutscenes here and there sprinkled throughout to kind of connect things.
That
But a
depends
vast
on the game you're
majority of
playing.
it, yeah, but a vast majority is just you playing actually you playing the game, you being the main character yourself.
I don't know. We can go talk to Naughty Dog about having nothing but a whole game of cutscenes. Last
Oh, that The Last of Us, Beyond
two, I
Two
think it
Souls,
was.
the Telltale games,
Well, the Telltale games were based on choices, though. So,
yeah,
uh,
Metal Gear Solid 4.
Death Stranding.
Yeah.
But
I'm
I mean
sorry.
that those are like, but that's Kojima's style though. So that's just him though. You
Yeah, I
when
paid
you
I paid $60 for a DVD.
hold on now, you did good, great action in Metal Gear Solid 4. Don't start with me on that. Now, Death Stranding is kind of a different story.
Yeah, because I definitely enjoyed that hour-long cutscene at the end.
That was Deliverman simulation. What's it like to be FedEx in the future?
And I thought I Metal Gear, like I remember when I was playing that game and I finally beat it and the cutscene starts and I'm like,
Which
man,
Metal
this
Gear?
cutscene's going off on Metal Gear 4.
I mean, you had some pretty good long fights though too. That last boss fight between Liquid Ocelot was interesting.
Yeah, but then that cutscene, I think that thing it was an hour long. I remember it because I remember playing the game, beating it, and that cutscene started. I literally went and cooked dinner and came back, and that cutscene was still going on.
Yeah, it had some of the longest one of the in longest cutscene in gaming history. I think it's like 70 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, he did a much better job. I would give him this. He did a much better job in Revengeance.
Well, he helped with that, but I mean, like, dear God, it was amazing though.
Yeah. Uh,
Sound
even though that's not a word.
what Revengeance?
Hmm.
Okay, it kind of isn't type deal, but it it's one of those things that it It kind of was. It was like used in a stupid court case with some like KKK members. I remember someone posted about. I'm like, what? They were trying to like slander the Metal Gear Rising with that. I'm just here like, I'll bring this up for like the 19. It's like the 50s, I think, and he was like, what? I, this don't connect. What are y'all doing? I'm not kidding. That made no sense to me.
Mm, but how much did Borderlands make this weekend?
Like I said, opening weekend was like 8.8.
Ugh.
Opening weekend box office. It
Is
ain't.
that is that including the Thursday night previews and stuff?
It imparts on the weekend.
Hmm. Yeah, no, that's not good, especially if you're on the weekend and you haven't even hit 10 million. And
That's not even a fraction of the.
especially in the wake of Deadpool basically blowing the box office away. Even though it's been out for what, this is week 2 or 3. I can't remember. I think it's week
Second week. I think
3.
it's the second
Yeah.
week.
And even when me and my wife went there, we went at 12:10, and that theater was still almost packed
It's a good
to watch
movie.
that movie.
It's Ryan Reynolds movie.
So yeah, you can see why that movie is taking off. But I don't know, maybe well, not because they don't do Blu-rays anymore.
Yeah, they do.
Somewhat. They're kind of
Blu-ray.
starting to They're starting to transition away from it because they want you to be on their streaming services now.
Oh, they're not getting rid of physical copies. They're going to try. They will try. I mark my words. They will try. But as long as there are people like us buying physical media still, they won't. Like I know you may find this hard to believe, but down here in the southeast, we're still like one of the biggest buyers of CDs.
Mhm.
Like all the southeast. I'm not kidding. That's why
Yeah.
most places still carry them. Like now, if you go to like Target, bro, they carry more vinyls than CDs.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
like,
because of the hipsters.
well, I mean, vinyls are great. They have a great sound quality to them and all that. So it also has a sound quality that can't be replicated. So it kind of comes with the territory of it.
Yeah, but you also have to remember that Walmart and Best Buy basically Best Buy has pretty much gotten rid of all their DVD. Like they have a few left in there, and they're trying to get rid of those. And
Oh yeah,
once
Best Buy
they're
said they
gone,
were
they're gone.
getting away from that. So I'm like,
Yeah.
Best Buy
So
can
is so
go.
is so is Walmart because their DVD section is shrinking steadily every month.
They can try. They can try. People are going to demand for them.
But it might could make up some of the profit on Blu-ray because that's usually the secondary market where they usually pick it up or on video on demand. So it
Yeah,
might eke out a profit depending.
I'm buying Blu-rays till I die, or something physical till I die, anyways. Because I refuse not to have something I can go back to and look at. Plus, most Blu-rays, as long as they're quality Blu-rays, they'll have a stupid shelf life of like 125 years.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
and if you have a Blu-ray, if you like me, you have a smart Blu-ray player. Do not hook it to the internet
yep, do not do that.
because they can basically download and basically rewrite your disc.
Yeah, they'll update it. They can go eat a pee pee on that. We'll try not
Oh
to say bad things, but oh well. I think we're
yes,
already
because
past
they
it.
they because they did do it to Back to the Future.
You know,
The Ooh La La magazine, they edited it out of
oh
the
god.
movie.
Yeah, so if you got like some of the original trilogy VHS tapes of Star Wars, keep those. Those are treasures. All right, I feel we've like spent ourselves on movies and such. But let us go to another sort of media which everybody loves, video games. And someone has not recouped their cost of Alan Wake 2. So this game's reportedly cost about somewhere about 70 million. So uh, development then plus advertisement. They've sold, I think it's like about a million and something copies
Is
around February.
they've sold 1.3 million copies since February.
Let's see, it supposedly recouped a significant part of the investments made by Epic Games Publishing as of March. The game was funded in full by Epic Games. It was the revenue be a split 50-50 after recouping development and marketing costs. Oh my god. Oh, that's a sucky contract right there. And let's see, Alan Wake remastered took it's gonna took over 2 years to recoup costs supposedly, but I mean it's not a big surprise. I've heard very mixed reviews about this. I know people that did like it and didn't like it. So
About
it
Alan Wake.
yeah, Alan Wake 2. It's kind of like one of the biggest hit or misses.
I would say it's probably a big miss because a majority of the people that I'm subscribed to basically like it wasn't good. But I can't really say for sure because I never played Alan Wake 1.
First one was great.
But I never played. I've never been into those kind of jump scare horror type games. I hate them with a passion because like you're not a good to me a good horror game needs to give you chills like not just a bunch of jump scares.
Yeah, like Resident Evil 7. I Every October I try to go back to that and make sure I do a full playthrough of that. At least on like not the last difficulty, but the second difficulty, if not normal. That game, just no matter what, it is just eerie. It's eerie. It's scary. Jack's wife needs to stay the hell away from me. That flamethrower is not enough to destroy what beehive she has down below. Ugh. Ugh. Nightmare fuel is what all that is. But that's why number 8 wasn't so scary, or Resident Evil Village, because Japanese consumers like, yeah, it's too scary for us. It's like a bunch of babies.
And then the fact that it's the second Alan Wake
Movie.
game had some help from a certain company that has basically really been spiting or basically angering a lot of people.
You just say I'm sweet baby. I mean, they're a consulting company. I'm like, I don't see how that needed consulting. Make game as best you can, and it will
It,
prosper. It's
it's
simple.
good more. It's more so because people are scared of the woke mob and feeling like they need to be culturally sensitive to any little thing. Well, we need somebody to come in here and tell us how we need to write the story. And pretty much out their own mouth, Sweet Baby Inc. The only thing they ever done is basically go in and say, well, instead of having a white person here, why don't you just put a black person there? Done.
Why do the black people always replace the redheads? Please tell me you're not the only one that's ever noticed this in like any
Well, I've
media.
noticed that a lot of redheads getting replaced.
I was like, what the hell is up with that? Why that in particular? I don't understand it. That's just the weirdest thing for me to see for like the past 15 years, I'd say. So weird. Anyways, but yeah,
And
Um,
pretty much as soon as that game came out, it was like all over the place. Before that game even came out, that Sweet Baby was attached to it, and people were basically not happy about it. And Sweet Baby basically just kind of just told people to suck it.
yeah, and now they try to hide that they haven't been a part of certain projects or whatnot. But I mean, they're slowly losing their how we want to put this power over the people.
Their
Air
cachet.
quoting because oh, sorry, I meant to mention this during the movie segment, but the MCU, now this is only within the MCU now. They've they have technically gotten rid of anybody that was problematic, considered a activist, not to do their job, and I mean sweep them out. Comics are still crap. Other things are still crap under Marvel, except for like the MCU. But the comics are still crap. Comics, they need to fix that, but I doubt they will.
The MCU has its own set of problems.
Oh no, they're cleaning house. I'm not kidding. When I say
They
it's
may be they may be cleaning house, but you still got to get through all the stuff that they've made prior to that. You
yeah,
still
they
got to get through Black Captain Falcon, the what's the name, Agatha, the
they
Ironheart stuff. You gotta get through all that stuff they've already made before you start getting to that new stuff.
they pretty much that's just all right. We got to get through this crap. That's just been written off at this point because with the announcement of like Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom,
Which is so
look,
bankrupt.
uh, they the amount of money they must have paid him just to do that. Fantastic Four movie will probably do okay, but Pedro Pascal is Reed Richards. You had like
No, no,
you
no.
already had the best
Mr.
guy.
Mr. Krasinski would have
He
been the
he
perfect Reed. He already showed it in the Doctor Strange movie. He would be the perfect Reed Richards.
he was perfect casting as far as I could tell you. And it's just like whatever.
I'm
Just
looking at
throw it out the window.
like
All right, whatever.
like you getting Pedro Pascal to be Mr. Fantastic.
He's
This dude.
already he's
Like do
already
y'all
got some legal. I want to see. He's been called a witness for the oh god, what is
Gina
her name?
Carano?
Gina Carano's case as a witness. So that'll be interesting. Anyways, we'll continue with the MCU stuff.
It's like do y'all does Disney, do y'all not know any other actor besides Pedro Pascal? I'm like, he's not that great an actor. Even in The Mandalorian, it's like you can replace him and nobody would care. They you have replaced him because Bo Katan is taking over. I think in the next season, it's going to be a Bo Katan series.
Yeah, it would.
And that was the one thing you actually had going for you that people liked after that. And you kind of wasted all that after season two when you had Luke Skywalker moment. And everybody was behind the show and you just snuck up behind it and shivved it in the back.
You know how they are. They just want to destroy stuff.
But
They'll,
what do you think about Mr. Downey coming back?
I honestly, that it's just a safe pick for them. And that man is getting so much money. He's getting his own private detail of security. He has instead of just a trailer, he has an encampment,
Yeah, he has a villa.
a like a set of villa wherever you want type thing for when they go do like filming for Doomsday and then Secret War.
Well, yeah, because he said he's bringing his whole family with him, so he needs a
You know,
whole compound
yeah,
with
pretty much
him.
just a set up compound. As far as like the story they're doing, this is going to set up, I guess, for whatever the newer Secret Wars battle world is what my take is going to be on this.
Yeah, because I think he's supposed to be introduced in the Fantastic Four movie.
Well, he was
Because
going to
it,
be as at the end of it,
yeah,
but
because it's
since the
supposed to
whole
take place
King,
in. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say because of the whole cancellation of the what's his name that played as King, the whole domestic violence shenanigans
Uh,
against him, he got arrested
Jonathan
for.
Major.
Yeah, so they're like, all right, we're not gonna waste this being a thing after a Marvel film. They're like, here's who's gonna be Doctor Doom. we're replacing the King's Dynasty with Doomsday. Secret Wars will be later. The Secret Wars that I think it's going to be is
Well,
going
they're
to
kind
be
of doing Secret Wars too.
yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's going to be a mix of like one and two, because I think this is where they're going to have Tom Holland play Spider-Man again, and he will get the black suit because that's when Peter Parker first got the symbiote. As far as like Eddie Brock's symbiote is going to be, The Last Dance comes out this year.
Well,
Uh,
if you remember though, what was the last Spider-Man movie? No, the last Venom movie. Which one was the last one he? Okay, one of
I
the
mean,
movies. Either the last, the
he shows up in the universe. My
yeah,
thing
and
is,
he leaves a piece of the suit behind.
well, that may get like scrubbed out. What I think they might do, because this is going to turn like some multiverse shenanigans. They're going to have that the Venom from Sony's universe, pop in over to uh the other universe, like because this is like in The Last Dance, some big scale invasion of the symbiote home planet coming to Earth or whatever, as far as we see in the trailers.
Yeah, it's
So
basically what was that book? The one with Null,
that
King in Black, or something like that.
oh, this isn't gonna be anything like that. This is going to be like he's fighting his home planet. Well, there it might be. I don't know who the main villain is for The Last Dance. We'll see. I don't know. Marvel's doing some weird stuff again. Just the MCU's
Man, they
cleaned up or cleaning
they're
up.
trying they're trying to basically correct everything. That's why I don't think the multiversal thing is gonna be really that big of a deal, because they pretty much know like we screwed up with this. This is not nobody likes this multiversal stuff at
The
all.
multiverse stuff isn't a problem. It's all this crap movies they're having. Because I mean, look at what was happening with Blade. Wesley Snipes shows up as Blade in Wolverine 3. Deadpool Wolverine. So I'm
Hmm.
like, I don't know where Blade's gonna be sitting at.
Well,
So
what's the name is already. I think he's walked away from the project.
yeah, one of
Mahershala
them.
Ali.
Yeah, he has, from what I understand. They're looking for a new director slash writer, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so hard to
Because
keep up with
like
everything.
because Blade was gonna be like a secondary, not even a secondary, like a fourth character in his own movie. Blade was gonna focus around his daughter and some other girls
Huh?
taking up the mantle and being the vampire hunters, and he was kind of gonna be like the whistler of the group.
That just sounds dumb plot wise to me. No wonder they've
But
been doing reshoots after reshoot or redo after redo.
uh, I'm like, I'm not going to a Blade movie to not see Blade.
Ah, man. Well, we'll see where they go with this. Now, to go on to another fun subject, Google has lost a lawsuit where they're now under being called a monopoly. Now, this is just one court case of long, ongoing several court cases. Not going to dive too down into the nitty gritty. So they've pretty much been found in fault. Now, it's likely going to happen, and just to give some insight, like you had Google having certain companies be paid ad revenue just to have their stuff as a
Yeah,
default on certain
basically forcing people to
products.
have, yeah, forcing like
Blocking,
pretty much all Android phones to all run off Google Chrome and stuff like that.
yep, and not allowing any competitors. So you've got they're going to be broken up. So it'll be very interesting to see where this goes. And
I doubt it.
Oh
If
no, they will
anything,
be.
they're gonna break Google Mail, Gmail off, and something else, and
Oh,
they'll technically sell it off, but they
no,
still
there's
gonna
no
have to.
technical. They will break them up. There is a big difference. Like we'll use Steam as an example. Steam technically is a monopoly, but it's because they provide a great service. They're not stopping anybody from making a better platform. Like Epic Game Store is terrible. Ubisoft has their own, which is even worse. Who else has one? Damn. I'm trying to think. These are the only other two launchers I can think of stores. You got the Windows Store, technically, the Windows PC Store. But I mean, like as far as like for PC gaming, Steam provides the best service for that. Google pretty much is like just fighting off people, trying to pretty much prevent anybody from entering in the scene, have better services. So that they're going to get broken up. I don't know in how many groups, but it'll be interesting.
I'm gonna wait and see on that one.
Like I said, this is going to be another court case. We'll see how it goes. It's,
Because they fighting the court case, Apple, uh, Microsoft, a couple other ones fighting the same kind of fight that they fighting about
well,
being monopolies in their own little areas. Apple is definitely a monopoly because the fact that they refuse to basically they got to have their own proprietary stuff. You have to have a specific charger for the iPhone. It has no. If you buy a Samsung watch and you try to hook it to your Apple phone, half of the features on the watch is disabled because it's not an Apple Watch. It's like they have a lot of stuff too that I could see people being pissed about.
yeah, and it's going to suck to be them when they get to those those courtrooms because Google is like the biggest one of them all. So Google got hit. Everybody else is game now.
Yeah, but I still got the feeling some palms are going to grease somewhere. In this case, it's going to be all of a sudden it's just going to fade away into the nothingness.
Oh,
And
it's not going to fade away. They've kept it out of like the news limelight, but they're losing. They're
But
every
even with that, even if I feel like even if people did come up with stuff, people are still going to go to Google because Google has the better search engine.
no,
That's
actually
just a fact.
it's actually been dying. It stopped being a good search engine like 5 years ago. Like some people are because they push for all this AI stuff. And over the past 4 years, a lot of blogging sites where their search engines scrape for information have been closing down. So they've been losing money. They essentially
I'm just
killed
saying.
themselves.
I'm just saying. If you ask any person off the street to find something, they're not going to go to the first thing they're going to pull up. They're going to pull Google up. They're not going to
Maybe.
pull any other app up. You're going to go and Google Maps to me is the best one out there.
I mean that's a no brainer on that one. But as far as like search engine results, they're actually been turning pretty badly as of late, the past year or so.
Mm, But like I said, we will see on that one how that's gonna shake out.
Indeed.
But we have to turn to a more sad note. I guess it depends on how you feel about the person, whether or not it's sad news or not.
Well, she was never really good nor evil as far as like things go. She's Susan Lewinsky or Wachowski.
Wojcicki.
Well, just I don't know, Gazoon type. She sadly passed away. The former CEO of YouTube sadly passed away at the age of 56 fighting cancer. Whether you hate it or you like it or nobody wants to have to fight cancer. Crappy thing for anybody to have to deal with.
So we do send out our best wishes to our family and friends.
Our condolences to them.
But this may not in a be insensitive about the situation. But this might be a good time for Mr. Elon to step himself in there.
No, he's turning X into a competitor for YouTube.
Yeah, I know he's been working on that, but
And
he
then,
he's got a tall mountain to climb there. Because as much as you want to say YouTube is pretty much king.
oh, YouTube's still going to be fine, dandy. But once that, when, if the however the Google breakup will go, will depend what will happen to Google and everything.
Mm, I think
Speaking,
I think YouTube would actually be better if they sold it to somebody else and somebody took it over and kind of took a lot of the restrictions that YouTube has on it, especially, and start promoting actual creative people on the site instead of just promoting the big guys.
yeah, like Mr. Beast, who we'll talk a little bit about. Now, there have been many allegations against Mr. Beast, and some of it's pretty damning, depending on how you look at it. Like, I will definitely say holding money in front of people is a very cruel thing to egg them on. It's like, hey, you'll last X amount a little time longer, you'll make some more money. Ha ha ha. It's like, this ain't good. But one of the big things, two of the big things, is one of his ex friends being pretty much, it seems clear cut they were talking to people underage in inappropriate manners. And then the other big thing is having a pedophile on staff, sex offender. I don't really care how you want to describe them, but yeah, and not to divulge names because you can go find them on the list. It's not hard. I'm sure everybody has seen it. But whew, and then there's a lot of allegations going on with the Mr. Beast games, the Amazon production, just like people passing out, having seizures, not getting their medications on time, ladies not getting their essentials for their problems, which, oof, my goodness. I don't think he's going to be beating these allegations.
Mm, it's not surprising to me. It's because people, for whatever reason, people want to believe that a lot of these people that's online are like these super altruistic, good people. And I'm like, no, some of them are, but a lot of them are just basically soulless people who just want to make some money off you. And Mr. Beast, I think, believe he said he like, if you give me so much money, I'm just gonna give it away because I know I'm gonna make X amount of money on the back end from YouTube. Like, so
Here's
he's
10
not
grand
doing
to
it.
this hobo.
So he's
And
not doing it out the goodness of his heart. And I really just wish people would stop putting these YouTube and Twitch and all these creators on these exalted platforms, these pedestals, and just worshiping them like they're just gods or something. Like, no, they're just average, they're normal people just like us. They're not perfect, they have flaws and everything.
yeah, well, like I said, there was that one media company that separated from Mr. Beast some weeks prior before the very first set of allegations and troublesome came about. But this media company is also backing a lot of big new YouTubers all over the place, so it's kind of a take it as you will type.
Mm, like,
There's a, there's a lot of
I
money in
honestly,
deep pockets that are helping
yeah.
people become big YouTubers real fast instead of the natural grown ones like Smosh used to be, JonTron, PewDiePie.
Yeah, that's why a lot of time you see these big time YouTube creators all of a sudden like, oh man, I gotta take a a month off, guys. I gotta take a month off from streaming. I'm like, you need to take a month off from streaming. I just can't deal with it. I'm like, yeah, because you're really faking who you really are. And it's hard putting up that front for day after day after day, month after month, when you're just
Well,
kind of faking who you really are.
it's not all of them now. Like, I mean, but trying to be, you're talking about you're your own manager, you're your own everything when it comes to content creation. And
I guess.
it's time consuming. Hey, listen, we have full time jobs. This is just a side gig for fun. If it turns
Yep.
into something, it turns into something.
Like, because I never knew how much time consuming it is until I started actually making content. And literally to record a video, edit the video, put all the transitions in the video, put the subscribe stuff, put the ending tags on there, upload it, title it, put all that stuff. Like, it takes a lot of time.
Yeah, because you're hoping that thing renders very fast. That's why people hire editors.
Well, we're not that big enough. We can hire an editor.
I'm my own editor, damn it, and I will do that myself. I refuse to hire people. I will do all this in house as much as possible.
And I understand, like, when you're a YouTuber, when you're one of the bigger YouTubers, you got like a couple 100,000 subscribers, and you're actually making a living off this. I can understand you have a editor to help you out with some of the videos. But for us, like, I like just like you, I had to pretty much do everything myself. So it is kind of discouraging at times, especially. I mean, when I first started, and you would spend hours like editing this video, getting everything right, and then you put it up, and then get like one or two views.
That's how we all start. I've been trying to get really good at doing one takes. It's been my thing. It's like that way, it's a nice quality video. It's setting this. I have everything set up. Here you go. All right, done. And I can just go post it. I just got to make a thumbnail.
Yeah, that's why I said I like when I once I got my that Wondershare and set up that software to basically edit stuff. It made things a lot easier to edit and move things around like I wanted to. Cause I'll be like honest, I was editing on my cell phone at one point in time.
You are in. I'm not even gonna say anything. I can't even believe what I just heard.
Like, I would
What
have to do
blasphemy!
video. Yeah, because I would do the video on my phone, and I would have to edit it on my phone, and it would just be. That's why I say once I got the editing program, it was like, whew. It's like now I can knock out if I record something. If I record something and get it all right, I could probably knock it out in about an
You
hour.
you know, you're a monster, by the way, for doing that on your phone. Your phone's probably like crying and dying.
I know
Oh,
I had an iPhone 14 Max.
thing was still crying. It's probably getting hot.
Like, it was surprising because I could render. I had to basically make the video, then put it into another software, and then have it rendered in 60 frames per second, 1080p. Then download that, then upload that download. It was like so many steps I had to do.
Mm-hmm. Now,
That's all.
go ahead.
I
Excuse
know
me.
that's what I say. I'm so glad I got this program now.
Oh, editing makes things a lot easier. All right, now it's like our last, like slightly miserable subject within the anime industry. Ah, the oh, let's see, the company here, they're switching over to from what I understand of this situation, these since a lot of localizers have been screwing up with Japanese animes, mangas, light novels, and a lot of Japanese didn't know this has been one of the ongoing problems. There now, a lot of one of the publishers there is called like Shogoku Kun, Shijoku Kun. They're using AI to translate some of their light novels. So, but they still do have editors. So you're looking at like probably 80% work is done by the AI, and then 20% checking for spelling errors and all that. And this is not like Chat GPT or uh, uh, who are some of these other ones, Chat GPT and all these others that are doing this. I've let me see here if they mention these. Uh, they weren't using like Google Translate or DeepL or what were these things called? Darn it! I think I think the company is called Mantra Co. And they're going to be sending basically the machine will do the work, then they hand it off to an editor to look at, and it looks pretty good from what I've seen. So I mean, I don't have any objections to this. I would like real people to do the translations, but people are so just they've destroyed their own jobs basically by trying to insert their own politics into stuff or try to put in let me put in sus yeet gooners or some other stupid term that just internet terms that just don't need to be there. It's like just stop. Okay, Mr. Chris,
Mm-hmm.
what do you
And
think?
I was just reading some of the comments in the tweet. But I just believe they created their own problem because all they had to do was just translate the text the way it's supposed to be translated, send it all to the voice actor, but they didn't want to do that.
You know, like
They wanted to insert their own politics and their beliefs into other people's works, and now it's come back to bite them in the ass.
yeah, pretty much. What was let me see here. What was this one? I this one was it's always funny for me to use this one as an example. I accidentally dressed up my classmate as a girl. It's a say it's a yaoi manga, but it's an ecchi yaoi manga or whatever. Whatever gay lovers, I don't know. It's it's nothing crazy, but they changed it. The people that localized it, they changed it to where they said the person was transgender. And it's like that is not right. That is wrong. And when the people that like didn't it did the book, they're like, this is what the localizers did. Oh hell no! They were up in arms about that crap. They had to reissue. They had to reprint all so many volumes, and they were that is not a production cost you want to eat.
Let me read some. Miss Christina from the AX panel. The
Hmm?
primary purpose of media translation is not to teach weebs Japanese slash about Japan. That is from one of your translate from one of the translation companies people. And you wonder why they're starting to go to an AI to translate things.
What was it? There was some years ago. I think it was a fan translation for Death Note. Like Yagami is like he says the word for plan for Japanese or whatever, and in the side panel it has a little asterisk star. This word means like plan in Japanese. I was like, you know what? That's great. They should always do that. Uh,
It's just always been funny to me how because as much as as much as I love anime, I understand the anime industry is woke. The American animation industry is as woke can be.
I wouldn't say the anime industry itself is woke. It's just you've got people that have instilled themselves in jobs that have just that they're in key positions they don't need to be in. They need to be let go because they're just going to screw up their job, and then you're going to go, oh, you're going to have to reprint a
And what's
book or something.
because yes, Monica Rial.
She's part of Seven Seas, if I'm not mistaken. They're
Mm-hmm.
unionized, so she's not going anywhere. She
No,
also
she's not.
she has a couple other positions she's in that she's not going
She took
anywhere.
basically Vic Mignogna's a job. She took a position that was going to be Vic Mignogna's after they Me Too'd him out of the industry for a bit, to the point where he couldn't even get work for a little while. But now
Yeah,
he's starting his own dubbing company, and I find it very funny how Miss Real and some other people basically tried to get this man canceled. And if you, I forgot what the anime is, but he and her both voice characters in this show.
I'd have to double check. I don't know if it's one I watched or not.
It's fine because it's been so long since I watched. But when it came to that, I had to really separate the artist from the art, because there was an anime I liked that she voiced the main character of, and I really just like didn't want to like the show because of her voicing the character. But it's like I can't help it. The show is actually pretty good. So it's like I kind of had to divorce her personal opinions and things from her voice acting work. And honestly, if you're a voice actor, like I don't really need to know your personal opinion on world events or what's going on, or your political stances on things. I really don't care.
Just like at our jobs, they don't ask us for our opinions on such things. They want to know. At my job, they want to know where the bread is, or like what goes to what, or what's good to cook with, yada yada yada. They expect me to
Yeah,
ask, "Hi, how are you? How can I help you?" Not
yeah.
about how my feelings are.
I think too many people have got to the point now where they feel like they need to express every little opinion they have. When back in the day, sometimes you just kept your opinions to yourself, or you knew not to say certain things.
Well, there's a big difference. They don't have common sense. Mommy and daddy didn't teach them quite well enough, and the world sure hasn't taught them a good lesson yet.
Like I said, I wouldn't say not. You didn't know. You knew not to say anything. You could tell. You could have disagreements with people, and it wasn't a big deal. Like you didn't have to agree on everything 100%. But we kind of lost that nuance to where now we can have that. We can have disagreements and still just be cordial with each other now.
You know?
Mm, I'm sorry to tell you guys, nobody agrees 100% on everything, and nor should you. And you should
Oh,
always question things if you have questions about it. If
yeah.
somebody tries to tell you that you're wrong for questioning something, probably something's wrong with them.
Like, if you feel something isn't right, I don't feel right about this. It's probably because it's going against something you feel deep down is not right. Go with that. Don't go in the opposite direction. Go with what you may lose some friends over that, but it's better to stand for what you believe in or whatever than sit there and go with the crowd or whatever.
Mhm. But the translators, I think you're going to start seeing a lot more companies start to do this, start to move away from the English localizers and starting to use the AI more to just translate and just have somebody go over it to spell check it, make sure everything the sentence structure is correct. And I think it's definitely going to hurt. I think it's going to hurt and basically force them to kind of make some changes. But okay, what do we want to get into next on the list?
Our next topics are going to be it's 2XKO Alpha. I'm calling Project L. To hell with that damn name. I'm going to this is going to be my my problem with the game is this is called that for the whole time it
If
exists.
Oh no, people already still just call it Project L
Yep.
because that name is stupid.
Dear
Like
God.
2XKO makes no, it doesn't even roll off your tongue well.
I get where they're going with it, but it's just like, no, stop. And then the other beta, Mech Break, Mecha Break, that came out of nowhere. It's been doing really well numbers. But we'll start with we'll start with Project L Alpha. So, Mr. Chris, you've played it a bit longer than I have. What are your thoughts on it?
I'm probably gonna say something controversial here, but if this game, if they actually was to charge you for this game, I wouldn't pick this game up. The game is the game has is very damage heavy right now, and they've pretty much said they wanted it to be high damage because they didn't want timeouts because that's what they were getting a lot in the early stages of the game. There's a lot of one touch combos in this game. Uh, the button layout is extremely complicated for whatever reason. You have two special buttons. I don't know why. To me, the movement is kind of sluggish, but I kind of chalked it up to it being an alpha build. But overall, once I played the game for a while, I'm like, and I've seen people do stuff with a lot of combos in here. I'm like, I can already see this game is probably 6 months after this game come out. It's gonna have the DNF dual effect, where you're gonna see a lot of casual people just drop the game and go on to other stuff. Because the one thing people don't like is basically getting touched one time and then getting juggled to death. Like that is not a fun thing.
Well, it
And
happens in Marvel too now. Touch of Death.
yeah,
Hello.
yeah, and you see how well that's lasted.
It's still going.
like,
What are you talking about? Marvel still.
like now I'm talking about this player base. Like, this game is, I believe 2XKO Project L is gonna be free to play,
Yeah,
which means they're
it's
gonna be trying, which means they're gonna be trying to make their money through other means, like selling you costumes or other little stuff, battle passes or whatever.
yep.
And if this game is basically the skilled players are basically gonna just be able to basically annihilate like newcomers into the game or just novice gameplay. Like this, it's not gonna last long. Or the player base is gonna shrink to basically where it's just really like high level players and just people who like fighting games. Like the casuals are gonna leave it, and it's gonna suffer a lot of problems down the line.
I wouldn't say that. Look at League of Legends itself. And the reason I say this is there are people that just still play it nonstop, casually. Whether they're whether they're not what is his name? Damn it. What's the big player I remember? Anyways, like the big players or whatnot are part of the big team. It's still got a huge casual base.
Yeah, but that's league. Like people like I don't see a lot of the league players coming over to the Project L and playing that, or they'll pick it up and play it for a little bit and then be like, "Well, I don't particularly like this," and then they'll just go back to playing league.
If they put money behind it, they will pick it up. You seem to forget. There is money
I,
to be made. They will come.
nah, Mortal Kombat did the same thing, and you saw what that happened.
That's well,
They
Mortal
had
Kombat
200.
One is bad. That's not.
I think a lot of people are basically giving this game a lot of good grace because of who made it. Because if this was any other game, if this, it didn't even gotta go that far. If this game is basically DNF Duel,
No, it's
a
well.
game with like high damage, long combos, one touch death kill moves.
They're not really
But
there.
oh, sure, I can send you some clips of one touch combos in this
Oh,
game
I'm
where you
sure there
can.
are. I was like, when you and I were fighting, they weren't there. I was
No,
doing the auto combo stupid stuff, and then I'm figuring out stuff as I go. I was like, this will work. Because I was
and
like,
and that's another thing. They need to work on the training mode because they need to have something to basically, hey, here's some starter combos instead of just being like, hey, go figure it out for yourself. It's like the fuse system needs a little work because I can honestly say you right now, if you go into a game, you're gonna pretty much see everybody using the same fuse, the auto combo fuse.
Yeah, I mean
Because I
that's
think I was,
fine. Well, you got to remember that there are people that are just trying this out that are not like
yeah.
us who play fighting games on the regular.
But I think
So
even when you start getting to the main game, though, I think it's still gonna be a lot of people just using the auto combo because it is fun. It's like modern mode in Street Fighter. You can actually do modern, use the modern control to basically do auto combo, but you can also still do the specials. You don't have to just auto combo.
it's just easier. But into the point of that, there was almost a modern Ed that came close to winning the esports World Cup. So I mean, hell, we saw Luke for a while dominating on modern mode. So I mean,
And they need to, I would say there needs to either be a mode for people to play duos instead of just having it where they're mixed in with the rank with people, somebody playing solo. Because when I've played those matches, I've always kind of experienced a lot of lag spikes in it, and I'm not sure if it's because you have three people basically playing at one time. And if one person's lagging, does it affect the other two, or
as
it's kind of some stuff they need to work out with that game.
well, you got to remember, man, this is an alpha. So I mean, I'm giving it plenty of slack here.
I'm gonna get yeah, just like people gave DNF Duel slack when it first came. It's the beta.
But then this game's been in development for a long time too, so it's kind of a here,
And
here, they're there with it. It's the Cannon brothers, so I'll give them the benefit of the doubt.
mm,
It's that's and
I'm a
I'm being fair.
I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt, but I'm also gonna put this statement out. I guarantee you, in 6 months after that game's released, we're gonna know where the player base is at, and if it falls off a cliff, and that why everybody's hyping it up, I'm gonna be like, I told you, because I honestly feel like 6 months to a year, that game is gonna fall off a cliff.
I don't know. I mean, stuff that's not made specifically by Riot Games has done well. To be fair, because the Arcane series, it's been on Netflix, has done extremely well. Now
If
this
it's
is
a, go ahead.
Now I mean this is an in-game, this is an in-house project, but it's like I said, it's the Cannon brothers. I'm not saying they're all the bee's knees, but I mean when they came out with Rising Thunder, that was a passion project they were working on, and that was a great fighting game. If you can, by the way, if you can find that online, they have a community edition. You can, it's out on the internet for you to have for free. They released it, which I think was a great idea to them because they got bought out by Riot Games when they were developing Rising Thunder. So the league fighting games being made, and back on the league, um, just my thing with the way this alpha is right now, I was confused. I didn't know it had a training mode. I didn't know where the hell it was. I was like, oh, it's in this menu on this other side. I was like, you should just have everything like for this just being an alpha, have everything listed on like the front page. Not like how Tekken has, all right, here's online, offline, then you have your modes. This is all online, so like have everything at least coordinated where it needs to be for the beta, anyways, because that threw me off.
And fix the control scheme.
Yeah, I'm
Cause
very confused on that. That took me a while. I was like, is this a 4-button fighter or 5-button fighter? No, it's 6-button fighter.
no, it's
Maybe
8 buttons
7.
actually. It's 8 buttons.
8 buttons? Huh? All right,
Heavy,
there's
light,
light,
medium,
medium,
heavy,
heavy, special
special,
1, special 2,
special,
tag,
tag,
assist.
parry, and air dash.
Air dash you can manually do.
Yeah, but it has a button assigned to it.
Apparently mine doesn't. I don't know.
I know on my stick, every button on my stick does something different.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to sit down and train and figure stuff out because that's why I'm like I did not feel terrible playing the other one. But
But I
I
didn't
will.
feel bad because even pro players are saying that this control scheme is kind of weird.
Yeah, I see what they're trying to go with because you have abilities with each character in League, and they have cooldowns. It would have been very interesting if they would have done what Grand Blue Versus does. Like each special has a cooldown, and if you use the easy input, the cooldown's a little longer.
When no, because they took that away.
They
I
did.
think in the new one they took that away. Like, well, no, you think it does cool down slightly slower, but you still get the same amount of damage.
Yeah, it's just a cooldown. Like to do the like if you do the easy input, the cooldown was just a little longer.
Which that's fine. But
That's
what they really need to do is just instead of having two special buttons, make it one special button and make it direction dependent. Like depending on what direction you're holding the button, like DNF Duel does, where if you do back mana, you get a different move from when you do forward mana. Instead of just having two separate buttons for basically do special attacks. But
yeah.
like I say, we're gonna see. Like I just really didn't like. It's fun, but at the same time, I kind of just lost interest in playing it after just a day or two of it.
I'll sit with training mode tomorrow. Really, really feel it out. But I mean, the lobby mode's interesting. I'll give it that, and the private lobby modes are nice. But
Yeah. The
I,
well
they're
the
nice. I don't need these though. I want simple. Like I want to just make room go to click click. I don't want to move around an avatar.
like I don't really mind that too much for like the private lobby. Like you have like because you can have your own little club. If they do like Street Fighter has the club, you can have your club room and you can kind of decorate it, or you have your own private room and you can decorate it any kind of way you want to. What I don't like about it is when you're searching for a match in the lobby, instead of it just zipping you into the match, it'll just beam a gold light over the cabinet and you have to run to that cabinet and then
You,
sit down and play.
yeah, that was a little weird to me. I was like, I can just click like I do in Street Fighter or Tekken. I was like, all right, find me matches. All right, now the cabinet's over here, huh?
Yeah, I'm like, it's still stuff that they try, but they did say that they wanted a lot of people to kind of break the game and find all these crazy combos so they could kind of tone it down some
That's
because
fine.
they've said they don't want it to be they want shorter combos. They want to keep the damage where it's at, but give you shorter combos.
What's
Which
his name? Darius. I think I did. I think I hit you with it. It did like 60% of your life.
mm-hmm.
It was like 3 hits into his like level 2. I think it's his ultimate or whatever. Like that's
Yeah,
kind of
that's why I say like I really feel like with that damage being so high, a lot of people are gonna play it when it first start, and then you're gonna slowly start seeing a lot of people just dropping the game because of the damage output.
maybe not. I mean, they're really because this is. Let's see what fighting game. Well, you Street Fighter. What am I thinking of? Street Fighter has really had a really consistent casual base. Seriously, because of the way they've done the game, especially with the modern mode and all that. I'm not saying um, League or Riot Games needs to copy pasta what Street Fighter has done as far as, but I mean there is potential for stuff and everything. It's just I it's up to them to figure out where they want to go with this because it's just very hard for me to like what I cause like even when I suggest like when I go to fill out the thing or whatever.
Or the survey at the end.
Yeah, I will give a very honest opinion, and I hope they read the comment section because most of the time when they have a comment section, I don't really write anything. Just give you generic answers to these questions, then call it a day. Now, let's move on to the other beta. Or, well, let me before that real fast. Did you ever play Hi-Fi Rush?
Mm-mm. I have, but I haven't played it.
Well, the Tango GameWorks has been taken over by the PUBG publisher Krafton. Krafton. So they're going to be expanding on the Hi-Fi Rush IP. So thank goodness that game will have an expanded universe. Just wanted to say some of the good news. Now, what have you thought? Now we're going to move on to Mecha Break. That has, and there wasn't a lot of advertisement for that. I'm being honest, there was not a lot of advertisement for that. But I saw it. I just went and did the played about 3 hours yesterday. It's pretty fun. What do you think, Mr. Chris? Because I think you probably played longer than I have.
Well, I'm looking at it right now. I've only played 4 hours, 4.2 hours. But honestly, I love the game.
It because
Like as
I
soon
don't
as I
want to.
fired, oh go ahead.
Oh no, you go ahead.
Because honestly, like this game is everything I wish a Gundam game would have been.
There are out there. They're just back on the PlayStation 2.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think. 'Cause I'm trying to think of
Encounters
all
encounters in
because me,
space.
yeah, and I think what's uh the one that's I think it's kind of similar to Mech Break, the competitive one. Could you still had the same Hyper EX something like that?
Oh, the Omni Boost.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it feels like to me. But Omni Boost, you have a one lock on. That you are
Yeah.
automatically locked on to the person no matter what. You have where you switch in between the two opponents. That's what kind of I was hoping Mecha Break would have, but it doesn't. It's you do have to aim somewhat, so
Well, you have lock on,
right.
but people can break their lock on by basically dashing and getting out of the way.
Yep.
Like you really could. When I started really going in and really watching videos and stuff, it kind of put it more into perspective, like how the game is supposed to be played. Depending, like it's not just pick a mech and go in there and just start shooting everything. It's like when you building your team, you kind of need to have like me. I like playing the Falcon because I love transformable suits like that. Like that one is more like a hit and run, picking out weaker characters and stuff, flanking stuff like that. The one you were playing, the one with the lance, is kind of like a flanker as well.
Yeah. Like you
Because
kind of got to.
yeah, you have your tanks, you have your assaults, and everything. You kind of have to build your team kind of balanced. Cause I was trying to think. Cause the last match I played, I was playing one of the healers because I noticed, like in any game, nobody wants to be the healer.
Some of those healer bots are freaking good. I didn't realize, like the one that can summon the walls.
Oh
Whew.
yeah, that was the one I played. I won like my last match I played in. I won, especially like what's the Panther when it's getting ready to charge at you with his lance, and it's
And
like,
they
oh
just throw
no,
up a
you don't.
wall. Yep. But dude, if that panther starts going, oh my god. Whew.
And then you have like a heavy machine. You have heavy mechs that basically can turn into basically like little fortresses. But the weakness is once you hit fortress mode, you can't move anymore. So you're kind of a sitting target.
Yeah, but that thing auto heals too.
Yeah.
It's nutty. The thing shouldn't be allowed to do what it's doing.
And just like the move, I love the movement in the game.
Yeah, it's very it it is fast, but if you run out of energy, you are slow. You there's almost where they need to have what I would like them to have, like Armor Core has, like hover. You turn on a hover mode or you turn it off. I want them to do that. That way, you still have more consistent movement because, like, if you're not holding down to boost, it feels very slow. It would help out
Well,
some of those
once you
frames.
get in the once you get into the battle, you're supposed to kind of be once you kind of lock onto somebody, kind of adjusting like left, right, back, forward, up. You're supposed to be kind of constantly moving.
Yeah, that's why I just wish, like, when it came to the like in Armored Core 6, the boost system is really nice. Like, but that's just me. That's the only like thing I could think of right off the bat they could really adjust.
I do think they need to add more variety and mix because right now I think there's only two support units in the game. Uh, I think about three. I think three tanks. The rest of like tanks and attackers and uh, light armored uh light armored ones because the Falcon is light. Uh, the other
What's it?
transformer one, I can't remember what it is. What it's called?
I think it's Falcon. You got
Not not the Falcon. It's another one that transforms too.
what's it? It's like something rating storm or something.
Yeah, Sky Raider,
Sky Raider. Sounds like a transformer,
which is
literally.
yeah, which I do like the other one, the sniper unit, which is kind of cool because you can basically set up a sniper's nest and
Bro,
turn yourself invisible.
it's so
Even though you,
stupid.
which is not really, you're not really invisible.
Well, like with you don't want anybody to be completely cloaked. You want them to shimmer.
Well, no, talking about when you set up, no, she's cloaked. She's cloaked. Like you can't see her at all.
And she
But
can
like if she
cloak
set up,
herself on a cliff and all that.
yeah, if she sets up like the little dome, you can see it for whatever reason. She's got like it's like a little bright pink dome, but she's invisible inside of it. So if you come inside of it, you won't be able to see her.
Yeah, what is that? I can't remember. It's like Wallstein or something. It's what the heavy brawler, one of the first heavy brawlers they get you. That thing throws up
Like
a
Von
cube,
Stein.
something like that. That thing throws up a cube. You're stuck in there with it, man. If
Oh
you
yeah,
were weak to melee, ho ho ho.
yeah. That's when it's offensive too. Basically, it puts up his little shield and basically locks you in there with them.
And it's little like it's like a special. It has little swirling blades that come out that can stun you. Oh God knows how many times I got died to that damn thing.
I don't know, but like, honestly, yeah, especially if I'm thinking it's gonna be free to play. I'm not 100% sure, but even if they were gonna charge a little bit for it, I would pay it because this game was just fun. And then you get to customize your own character and basically what other game does that? Kind of like Exo Primal does.
Well,
Where you
you'll be able to like select the paint job and all that, like Armor Core has, where you can change up the paints and all that. But you have to earn the paint too now. I don't, and the
yeah.
paint, as far as I can tell, is not
Well,
one time use.
no, it's not a one time use, but you can pretty much just go because they give you like tons of in-game currency to use in doing this beta.
As for the beta, now when the game launches, oh man, if
Now, when the
those are
game
the
launches, they're probably not going to give you nothing, but they may give you like a handful of coin, but nothing like they're doing now.
in-game currency, that's that blue stuff, like to for like do the research and all that, they give you a ton of. That's to try out all the units, period. Now that gold, the gold premium one, like you can buy a couple of custom stuff, but that's here nor there. But you know which currency is which. The online's not bad.
No, I haven't really suffered any, like, I haven't had it crash on me or do anything like that or freeze, and I really haven't experienced too much lag in the game. Like, everything kind of moves pretty smooth for everything that's going on the field. The game modes are kind of yeah. If you play Overwatch before, you Overwatch or stuff like that, games in that genre, you'll basically know the game modes.
Pretty
It's
much.
basically yeah, it just push, what's that? Escort the payload,
Uh,
uh,
there's
secure
one
the
where
point.
destroy certain things as they spawn, like the scramblers. There are keys that'll appear. You have to grab one, escort it to the point. Uh,
Yeah,
then there's the five. It's the 6v6. Kill your opponent basically, but they incorporate them to where they're like missions you have to do for the story, which is very interesting.
yeah. The only thing I will say is they are tap dancing on Bandai's door.
Mm,
Cause some of those mix, you could look at 'em and be like, "It's getting yeah, you're getting kinda close to a copyright infringement."
that's kind of yes and no. I mean, was it Damon X Machina, the guy that did a lot of like Armor Core designs? Some of those designs are in the Damon X Machina. Like some of those parts, they're like a 1-for-1 from Armor Core, and it's happening in that game.
I know, 'cause this one right here, like, there's literally one of these machines in here who, if you when you look at it move, you're like, "That's the Wing Zero. That's the Wing Zero custom." You changed a little bit in the face, but it still has the wings and stuff.
No one's gonna
Another
care.
one, I'm like, "Yeah, that's." I'm looking at your legs. Yeah, that's the Zeta Gundam legs. The first mech you get, if you look at the little antenna it has, and you go to the parts thing, and it actually splits apart and makes the V fin, but it only does it when it shoots the radar out. So I'm like,
It's no big deal.
eh. Yeah, but you could really can look at a lot of them and be like, you can tell like they are inspired by Gundam, even when
Oh,
it gets to like the face models.
that whole thing, like the first default one they give you, that thing is the Gundam Exia basically. That thing look like the way it plays, because if you've ever played Gundam Versus, that thing, it has its normal mode, then it breaks off into this smaller unit where it's a rifle and a sword. That's it. But you have an ability where you can call in the armor one more time. It's like, whew, it's not bad. Like it's not. But
Yeah, no, I can definitely see a lot of people picking this up. Like it was already when I looked at the leaderboard, it was already people who were at master rank.
yeah, I think one of the top ones was playing Panther. The third guy was using that medium support.
Yeah, because it depends on like what type of game mode you're in, depending on which one you want to pick.
Yeah, so you got to
And
really think about it.
you, yeah, this game actually does require you to actually play as a team.
Yeah, because I was
And
playing
you
as
do.
Panther. Yeah,
I'll go ahead.
I was gonna say, I was playing as Panther. Someone chose the heavy sniper unit that stays in the air. I was like, there's no way I can get to him. I tried to a couple of times. I was like, there's no way.
Oh no, that's because you need a Falcon or someone like that that can transform and go up there.
Mm-hmm.
Which I love that. That's my favorite one. I'm like, I cannot wait for this game to get fully released and people to start making Gundam mods for it.
Well,
Cause
they
can
might
already
shut
tell.
that down now.
Yeah, I'm about to say, cause the Falcon. When first thing I seen that when I played, I'm like, this is nothing but the savior from Gundam Seed Destiny. I'm like, I want somebody to make a savior skin to go on top of it.
I was gonna say, it was one of the Macross units or Transformer. That's literally what I was thinking when I saw those two, Falcon and the Sky Raider.
I can see people making mods like that too. Whether or not they'll stay up again, that's a that will be seen.
Yep.
I don't know. It's probably some way they could do a Gundam. They could do Gundam mods and not really have Bandai come after them.
It's not like Pokemon.
I honestly don't think Bandai would care. The only way they would probably care if it was like with Pokemon, where somebody was trying to sell it.
Yeah, they'll shut you down real fast for trying to do
Like I think if somebody just made a mod, made like little Gundam skins to go over them, I don't think they would care. But if somebody tried to sell them, yeah, they would probably come out the Mech Breaker. Which all they're gonna do is just cancel. They would just basically ban the mod and then just ban the other person's account or whatever.
pretty much.
Yeah, but I think we have pretty much got to the end of everything, guys.
That's
It's
gonna be
definitely
it
been
for
a
us.
it's definitely been a busy couple of days.
It's been a busy 2 weeks, man. Every other day, someone's doing something stupid or getting canceled for doing something stupid.
Yes, and I gotta check on something. today or tomorrow to see if when he can be available. I haven't
Well,
given up on it yet.
I know we'll discuss that one a little bit later. But folks, that's gonna be
Yep.
it for us. You have a good morning, good night, or evening, whatever it may be.
Yep. Take care of yourself. Y'all be safe.